All right. So when it comes to mindset, psychic ability is 80% mindset, 10% talent, 10% tools. So we really stress mindset here. Now, when it comes to the topic for tonight, especially around getting motivated, part of getting motivated is having the ability to tap into something greater. When you get stagnant, you're like, this is boring. There's no motivation, right? However, when you could tap into something greater, that's what we're going to be playing with tonight, how to tap into something greater so that you can get more motivated. And I was doing a session with someone and this analogy came up while I was giving the session. I like to use this analogy of a ship. Now, your thinking mind, imagine the captain of the ship, right? He's just looking out, he or she's just looking out, doing the little wheel that turns the ship, probably presses a couple buttons, right? And with the thinking mind is very limited to just that. Okay, very similar to what the captain is limited to. Now, the subconscious mind, picture that as the inner workings of the ship. Okay, that's all, like the engine, the fuel, the cranks and levers, and all of that. Then there's the God mind. The God mind, picture that as the ocean, right? The big, vast ocean. Now, if the captain wants to turn the ship, what does he do? He turns the wheel, probably presses a few buttons, right? So that's like the limit of the thinking mind. Now, like I said, the levers, cranks, electronics, the rudder, the engine, those are all the inner workings of the ship. And we're saying that's like your subconscious mind. The ocean, this is how the ship itself interacts with the ocean. Now, why do I share this? Well, this analogy, picture it as your thinking mind presses a button or does what it does, has a thought, it interacts with your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind then interacts with the God mind. Now, what do I mean by God mind? We're talking about source. We're talking about all that is. We're talking about that greater universal mind. Okay. Now, why is this important? Well, the captain just presses the button, turns the wheel. And in that moment, the captain is not concerned about the mechanics of the engine, don't care about how much fuel was used or the angle of the rudder, right? All the captain wants to do is just turn the wheel. We want to go toward the right, and then we want to make sure we don't crash into anything. Now, how that happens within the ship itself, and this is the subconscious mind, right? The captain is not thinking about all that in that moment. All he wants to do is just turn the wheel. So your subconscious mind is like that ship, all that information, all the knowings, the inner workings, it's all right there, whether you think about it or not. All right, that's your subconscious mind. Everyone type in the letter S if you're following along so far with this analogy. Okay, so I see the letter S's coming in. Now, the in the moment, like I said, the captain just presses the button, the ship does the rest. Okay. Now imagine feedback from the ocean lets the captain know what to do next. So, in other words, subconscious mind is interacting with the God mind. And whenever you've had those divine moments, right? God, the universe, all that is lets you know. That's what I mean by feedback. It lets you know what to do next. Okay. Now, why do I share this? Well, just realize from all this, there's a ton that goes on behind the scenes. And there would be a ton to think about. And yet, what do? We tend to overthink it, right? We tend to overthink it. Type in letter O if you could relate to that, right? Here you're trying to get motivated, you're trying to do what's next. What should I do? What should I do? We tend to overthink it when the truth is in your subconscious mind, in that God mind, everything you need is right there, right? So ultimately, you just have to trust in the divine. And why is that? Like I said, it's because your subconscious mind and your God mind already has that information. So part of the goal tonight is knowing this when you want to get motivated. Sometimes we get all third chakra. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? But what we're going to play with in order to get motivated is how do you tap into that subconscious mind, God mind information and trust that it will provide what you need right when you need it. Okay. Everyone type in the letter T if you're into it, right? If that's what you want to learn tonight. Okay. See, the letter T is coming in really quick there. Okay. Awesome. So the intention for tonight, imagine being able to just tap into and or reprogram your subconscious mind, even if you don't know how right now, right? That's what we're going to be playing with tonight. And what would it be like to install new programs into your subconscious mind so it's actually in alignment with the goals of what you want to achieve for your life? And tapping into that deeper inner wisdom of your subconscious mind, your God mind. And again, even if you don't know how to do that just yet, that's what we'll be working on. Everyone now just silently say to yourself, I have access to deep inner wisdom. Just say it anyway. Whether you can figure it out, whether you intellectually know it, just say that to yourself silently. I have access to deep inner wisdom. And just breathe the truth of that statement because you already do. You always have. Awesome.